Welcome, ProcrasCreators. Today, as you can see, we are working on a broken cedar chest. Yes, it was broken, but it can be beautiful. And look at that. It's already beautiful. I cleaned it up. From here, I took off the trim that was at the front of it because that, if you looked at the front piece, it was broken. So I had to get that piece of trim off, and as you can see, this corner was giving me a little bit of trouble. I ended up breaking it a little bit, but I was going to keep it. I actually did keep it and was going to paint it, but then I decided against that a little later in this process. But I needed to get that piece of trim off in order to get the broken piece that was in front of it or behind it off. So as you can see, as I flip it, you still see that broken piece there that I end up using the same process, a flathead screwdriver, and pulling that off. And watch that, y'all. So cute. It's gonna be so cute, and I was excited. So here is one of the mistakes that I made. I made that bench 24 inches high, too high. It looks like one of those cars with the big wheels. So I took that off. But anyway, here you see me adding new trim. I added new trim all the way around the whole casing of the opening. So I'm using trim that I got at a local hardware store, and some finishing nails. And of course, you see me using a hammer because I gotta get those finishing nails in. Unless you got a pneumatic one, that would be awesome. So I put 3 nails going across and just tapped them in partially, and then went back and tapped them all the way in. So that was that process. I also wanted to show you how I cut the pieces of trim to size. So that is the long piece of trim that I'm trying to figure out how to show on camera. But I put it down in place, and here I marked my first one with a pencil, but I couldn't find my pencil then, so I just used my nail. Gotta be resourceful, right? And put a marking on it. And from here, I get up and get my little miter box. These things are like really cheap. $5 is what I pay for that little miter box. And I think if you buy it with a saw, it's like $8. So it's not something that's really expensive. But you put your piece of wood, put it against, like I use that straight edge there. So I put my line in there, and then I of course took the saw and I sawed away, right? So that is pretty much that process. You just get through the piece of wood. I've done this process when I put the little trim boxes on the wall. So this was something that I already had at home. So as you can see, I just throw the stuff to the side, and then as you can see, it fits perfectly. And then I take, of course, a couple of finishing nails and attach the trim to the cedar chest. Okay, soon to be bench. So as you can see, I'm getting my hammer and my finishing nails. So here it is after I've attached the new legs, which were 18 inches, which I did with the nails through the top, as well as some L brackets underneath. I also made a no-sew cushion, which you can watch my other video for that. And here you can see I've painted it and stained it and put my no-sew cushion in the inside, and it is beautiful. And here's the finished project. So if you love this bench the way that I do, please subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thank you, ProcrasCreators.